welcome to Libra Views. I'm Charlene. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. And today I'm here to talk about Insecure Season 4, okay? Now, this is going to be my first video that I've made. They're already on like episode 4. So, you know, I might be mixing a little bit of what has happened in past episodes. You know, I kind of had to get, readjusted to Insecure because it was off for so long. I kind of like low-key had to like do some research on like the storyline because it was like so, like I knew the storyline, but just like little specifics because I'm like, it's been a minute, but Insecure is back. I'm here to talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, episode 4 opens up with Lawrence is in the bathroom and he's practicing for some type of speech or some type of presentation that is coming up at his job. So he then goes into the bedroom because this loud alarm is going off and you see that his girlfriend Condola is sitting there. Now, Condola is like me because I need a loud alarm to get me up or else, I'll be laying there all day. So Lawrence was kind of like, girl, did you need that alarm? Yes, sometimes you do need that alarm, Lawrence, okay? So they seem like they're in a good space, you know what I'm saying? Because in the past couple of episodes, it was kind of awkward with the whole relationship that Condola and Issa had kind of fostered, and Lawrence's friends was kind of getting his ass about trying to mess with people that are in close proximity to Issa. Like, if you're going to find somebody to be with, you need to find them far away, not in the same circle, in the same social spaces that we share. But nonetheless, they've gotten past that. It seems like in this episode, when they open up and they're in the bedroom, it seems like they're in a good space despite all that awkwardness that went down between Issa, and Lawrence and Condola. Okay, so they get to talking about Thanksgiving and where each other are going to eat Thanksgiving. So obviously right now is Thanksgiving time, and Lawrence said, he was going to go to his family's, I think, and Condola was like, well, I'm having a Friendsgiving. And Lawrence was like, okay, well, what's up with the Friendsgiving? I'd have been the same way, like, what's up with the Friendsgiving? Because family is cool, but it's like, most of the time, you've been spending Thanksgiving with your family for years upon years. So it's like, girl, you having a Friendsgiving? Oh, I'm coming over to the Friendsgiving. So he kind of invited himself to the Friendsgiving or whatever. And Lawrence is out with his friend. After that scene, Lawrence is out hanging out with his friend. And he's talking about his job and potentially, like, getting fired. And he was just basically saying how, there's a lot of stuff going on with this company. They're having a shakedown, but he thinks that his position is solid because he's black. And then so his friend goes on and he's talking about how, his friend sells houses. So his friend starts to go into how business has been slow and, and how he needs to step his game up because he don't want to go out looking like no bum. So Lawrence was like, okay, well, if you haven't been selling any houses or getting any work, why are you pushing this brand new Range Rover? And the friend said he has to keep up the image. Okay. Now, keep up the image. Me as a millennial, that has been something that I have lived through a lot. People trying to live up a particular, image. Case in point, I'll give you an example. So I remember I was friends with another girl. Beautiful girl, big butt, the stripper body, all that aesthetic. And I will never forget, we were traveling somewhere, and I ain't going to divulge the details, but we were traveling somewhere, and she was in my vehicle. Now, from what I understood, she didn't have a vehicle, obviously. That's why, my friend and her were in my vehicle. And I believe I had picked her up from, like, a hotel or something, like, or a guy. Like, I don't think that she had, like, her own place, per se. And I will never forget, we were riding around, and Shorty going to go, oh, your car don't have automatic windows? Now, mind you, my car didn't have automatic windows because it was a 2001 Saturn. This was probably like circa 16 or something, 2016. No, this was probably like circa 2015. The end of 2014, maybe the beginning of 2015. So I had a 2001 Saturn. Now, mind you, this bitch has nothing. You have nothing, you know what I mean? And you're in my car, but you're asking me questions as if, why doesn't something that I have that you don't have certain particular features, you know what I mean? But if you go on her Instagram, you know, she's got the designer shoes and the designer bags and, you know, the lavish dinners, I guess. But then, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Shorty ain't have no car. So this is the generation of, let me flex around for an image, but really whole time I'm not getting any work like Lawrence's friends, or I'm a whole really bum out here, you know, with nice shoes. You know what I mean? This is the generation that we live in. But, you know. So, Issa and Lawrence, so the scene moves on, the episode moves on. Issa is at a restaurant on her laptop, you know, chilling, about to get lunch, and she runs into Lawrence. Now, Lawrence and her get to talking, and Condola walks in. Now, I'll be too busy trying to write notes and view the episode at the same time. However, I believe that the spot Issa was at was a spot that she had found out about through Condola. So it's like, girl, like, I brought you here, and, you know, you should know that it's probably a high chance that me and my nigga is going to come here, you know what I'm saying, and chill or whatever. At least that's what I thought. I was trying to write notes at the same time, but that's what I think. I think Condola was like, girl, I brought you here. Like, why are you here? But nonetheless, things kind of got a little awkward when Condola walked up, because obviously she was meeting Lawrence so they can, you know, eat and have lunch. And Issa kind of picked up on a hint. I love people that can pick up on hints. I hate people that cannot pick up on hints. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes hints aren't, you know, as, I guess, hintable. But for the most part, hints are pretty obvious out here. You know what I'm saying? Take a hint and peace out. And she did. But as she was walking out, she kind of glanced back at them and, you know, kind of made a face and eventually dipped off. So, he saw Molly are grocery shopping. You know what I'm saying? And Molly, Issa makes a comment. Because Molly was trying to express her feelings and basically, Issa and Molly go grocery shopping, and Molly is trying to express to Issa that she wanted, you know, her dude, the little Korean guy that she's dating, that she didn't know if she should invite him to Thanksgiving dinner or, you know, whatever. And Issa was kind of like, no, like, don't do that. Like, you're doing a little bit too much. And that's like some old Molly traits. Like, come on, whatever. So, you know, that was like a punch to the gut to Molly. And then so Issa gets to talking about how, you know, she needs to save money, you know, for this block party that her and Condola, which is Lawrence's girl, is planning. And Molly took that as an opportunity to, kind of take a dig at Issa and goes, well, you know, you are like, shouldn't even be in this three-way love affair. And basically Issa said the same thing, like, girl, you was just in a three-way love affair, which is true. Molly, you sure was. You sure was up in an open relationship situation, and you was loving it. Okay? Like a McDonald's kid. You was definitely loving it, so I'm not understanding why you trying to throw shots. But, you know, Molly just felt like she could get in where she could fit in, and she felt bad what Issa said to her, so she wanted to get back at Issa. So after Issa had said that to Molly, like, girl, you was just in like a whole three-way messy relationship. And then Molly goes, well, at least, you know, I wasn't fucking no nigga for weed and toiletries. That was a little messy. Now, here's the thing. You know what I mean? That was a little uncalled for. You know what I'm saying? Because in Issa's mind, she's just having a good time. She knew she wasn't going to marry Chubby Yo. She knew she wasn't going to marry him. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, Issa kind of picked up and was like, yo, what's good? Like, we haven't been cool lately. What's up with this? You know what I'm saying? And they go on from that. So Molly is still mad at her dad for cheating, for so-called cheating, not for so-called, for cheating on her mom back in the day. And Molly didn't know about it, and then she found out about it. But before I even get into that, because I didn't make any videos prior to this video, I just want to say this. As far as Molly, quote unquote, asking for too much from this Korean guy too early. You know, I think they've been dating like a month or two. And Issa's kind of like, girl, like, you doing too much. Like, everything is fine. You should be happy. And you shouldn't be complaining and, like, pushing too hard. Like, let everything go, you know, just let things flow and go with the flow. And I kind of disagree with that. Because I feel like if we're hanging out and we're talking, like, there's one thing when there's a kind of like a fuck buddy situation where it's like you kind of text throughout the day, but you literally only see each other at nighttime when it's time to bone. You know what I mean? If you guys are going on a summer walk, you know, going out and hanging out, going on dates and going out to dinner and going to events, and you guys are smashing, I don't think that it's too far-fetched that Molly, you know, perhaps would want to let know, like, little extra things that's going on in her dude's life. Like I said, if it was just kind of like a casual, cool relationship and they bleep from time to time, I could then be like, Molly, why did you want him to open up to his feelings? But they're full-fledged dating. Excuse me. Whether it's been 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, they are doing relationship things. They're going to events. He has met her friends. You know what I mean? They are going to concerts. Like, you know what I'm saying? So stop it. Molly has every right to feel like, okay, I want more from this. And Issa is just not here for that. She's like, girl, this shit seemed good to me. Because, you know what Issa's used to. So again, back to what I was saying. Molly is still mad at her dad because last season or a couple seasons ago, she found out that her dad had cheated on her mom. Now, Molly, you're a little bit too old to not understand that in relationships, there is a lot of BS that happens. And just considering all of the BS that you have gone through in your dating life, I can see you being surprised and maybe even hurt. But, to carry it on and hold a grudge against him and not, like, want to talk to him, it's like, girl, you are too old. You know that in relationships shit happen. And if he ain't cheat, she probably would have had cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, Molly, you are not 18 or 17 years old or 16 years old and found out that daddy cheated on my mom. No. You are well into your late 20s, possibly early 30s, and you know the type of shit that goes down in relationships. And I get it. You just didn't expect that from your dad. But at the end of the day, girl, you should have got over that in about a week or two. So they get to talking about Molly's boyfriend and if she should have had. So Molly's at her mama's house. You know what I'm saying? Molly's at her mom's house. Their homegirl Kelly is at, hosting her family, her aunties. Issa is supposed to go to her mom's house. So it's Thanksgiving time. Molly's at her mom's house, and then she gets to talking to her mom about, whether she, should have invited, her Korean boyfriend or not. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. If she should have invited him or not. And her mom was like, yeah, you should have invited him. Like, don't think too hard about it. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Look at your brothers. Now, I want to know the real tea. And Masika, hey, Masika, shout out to Masika. Masika got her a little role on Insecure, so that's what's up. But the mom was throwing shade, like, if your brothers can bring these hoes here, you can bring whoever the fuck you want to bring to Thanksgiving dinner. Now, I don't know why Molly and them don't like the girlfriends. Maybe because they just are dressing real slutty-ish. I don't know. But I don't know why Molly was throwing shade and the mama was throwing shade. Now, Issa goes to her mom's house, and then there was some emergency with her dad. So her mom had to go to the hospital with her dad, and she and her brother ended up just going to a Mexican restaurant and having a Mexican Thanksgiving. And I ain't motherfucking mad at that at all. Lawrence then comes over to Condola's house. Lawrence comes over to Condola house looking nice. And he had a nice little shirt on. I like that shirt. You know what I'm saying? He was ready for the Friendsgiving, okay? He came to the Friendsgiving giving his all. You know what I'm saying? You know that's how it goes. You go out, you buy an outfit, or you go into your closet and you mix max some shit together, put your face on, put some perfume on, all to go to Thanksgiving dinner and sit in somebody's living room. That's just what you do. Molly goes to her mom and helps with the Thanksgiving dinner. And like I said, Issa's mom went to the hospital. You know, that was tragic. And so Lawrence is at Condola's Friendsgiving, and his job comes up. So Lawrence brings up, I guess, the company that he works for. And one of Condola's friends was like, oh, I heard about that. You know, what's going on with that? And Lawrence was like, oh, everything's cool. They're laying people off, but they ain't laying me off. And it seems like a lot of people know what's going on with Lawrence's job except for Lawrence. Because you remember how Whitefish at the front desk in the beginning of the episode, when he came there, they had canceled his meeting. And she kind of was like, acting awkward. And then now Condola's friend is asking about the company. So something is going down at that company. I don't know what, but something is going down at the company. Let's see. Molly shows her family her Asian boyfriend, and everybody starts jonesing on him, of course. You know how it is in black families, as soon as you date outside the race. And I'm sure it's like that in every culture too. It's not just black people. So everybody, Lawrence and Condola are having fun at their Thanksgiving. And Condola brings up the fact that she doesn't want to plan. So Lawrence and Condola is at the Friendsgiving. So two of her friends are about to get married, and they're talking about their marriage ideas, and Condola comes up with a really good idea to, hey, why don't you have, your wedding in an art gallery? And her friend was like, that's a really dope idea. Are you sure you don't want to plan our wedding? And Condola basically expressed that she did not want to have anything to do with the wedding. She didn't want to plan a wedding, and that her ass don't want to have nothing to do. She don't want to get married. She don't want nothing to do with a wedding. She don't even want to step into a wedding. So Issa and her brother are enjoying, their Thanksgiving, their little cute Thanksgiving. And sometimes that's fine too. Sometimes it sucks, not being able to be with your entire family. But whenever as long as you're able to be with a close friend or family member and just sit down and, crack jokes and have a good time and cut ass and just eat good food and get drunk, that's a good Thanksgiving, So Issa's up with her friend her brother, and they're drinking and partying. The little Mexican band come out and stuff, playing the mariachi, singing a Thanksgiving song. And Issa gets into a conversation with her brother and basically starts talking about how, it's a little irritating seeing Condola with Lawrence and seeing how, he's just doing better. Because if you remember in season 1, when we first met Issa and Lawrence ain't had no job. Lawrence was laying around the house. Lawrence wasn't dicking her down. And even if he was dicking her down, the dick is so much better when a nigga is doing something for you. It's like sometimes it's like, and not even doing stuff for you, like you're like a fucking prostitute or some shit like that. But you're a man, you know what I'm saying? Like if damn, daddy done fucking paid the bills, you know what I'm saying? He's holding it down, he's being a good guy. And when you receive the penis, it's better versus the nigga that ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? And you just, for you know what I'm saying? So Issa's like, listen, it is a little irritating, seeing Lawrence, taking Condola out, paying for dinner, doing the things that I wish he would have done when he was with me. And I feel like I kind of prepped Lawrence for his relationship with Condola. Now, I totally feel Issa on that, because I've definitely been in situations where when I was dating a guy that I was in love with, you know, and I was trying to help and push him to do certain things. And it seemed like at the time it's like going in one ear and out the other, you know, nigga, a bum, really, you know, not doing shit. And then it's like, as soon as you break up with them, or as soon as you guys part, which in my case, I broke up with my ex, but in Issa's case, Lawrence left her. But nonetheless, whenever you guys separate, it seems like the guy goes on. And in my case, my ex, you know, he didn't really have steady money like that. He didn't have his own car. He didn't have his own place. Now, he has a really good job. He has a car. He has a car. Like, he lives out of state. You know, he's now married to somebody else. They have a nice home. Like, they just had a kid. And so sometimes, listen, I don't want the nigga back. So, girl, in other state, you can have him. But I just said it to say I understand what she's saying, because it's like, damn, like, when we was together, you wasn't paying bills and whipping and providing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy that he's doing what he got to do. Molly has been treating her dad bad, and she didn't want to be on his team. Her family was playing a game, and Molly was put on the team with her dad, and Molly didn't want to be on the team, you know, because she's still pissed that her dad cheated on her mama. So Lawrence and Condola are cleaning up the house after Friendsgiving, and Condola said she didn't want to have him there, pretty much, and that he basically talked herself into being there. And then Lawrence asked if she was over her ex. So during the Friendsgiving, Lawrence was in the kitchen and happened to just be in there at the same time as one of Condola's friends, and she was really intoxicated. And she starts talking about, you know, how things were before Condola met him, and how, you know, she's happy that they're together. And from what Lawrence gathered from it, he basically asked her, "Are you over your ex?" And Condola says that she's the only one that should feel some type of way about being concerned about an ex. That part. Now, Condola, just like Lawrence and Issa were together for 5 years. Condola and her ex clearly were together for a long time, because they were even married, and she went through a divorce. So she was clearly with him for a long time, and they had been broken up for a year, maybe 2 years. So it's a valid question that Lawrence is asking if she's over the ex and over the whole situation. But it was also true, T, when Condola was like, "Bitch, I don't know the damn well you ain't worried about what the fuck I'm doing with my ex, when I should be worried about you." You know what I'm saying? Y'all got your own little jokes, and y'all see each other all the time, and y'all have the same friend group. That's a little suspect. So then Condola asked if Issa never cheated on Lawrence, would they still be together? Lawrence never answered the question. Or maybe he did, we just didn't get the answer to the question. So Issa drops her brother off after Thanksgiving, and she postpones. Her and Molly were supposed to talk about, you know, because they had that little riffraff at the grocery store. So Molly and Issa was supposed to talk. Issa postpones it. Molly was fine with it. The clip then goes to Molly finally giving her dad a piece of cake and sitting down next to him and enjoying the game. And as you can see, Molly has clearly forgiven her dad. Now, there's a 15-minute, so the scene then goes on to Lawrence in his living room, and he's basically on social media looking at all his friends, like how we do on Instagram after that, you know, holidays or what have you, and you're looking on your friends' page, like looking at their videos. And I thought it was very good that there was a small 15-minute clip of the news, and Lawrence was watching the news, and it was basically the inner city Los Angeles Police Department being interviewed by reporters, and they were asking them about a missing black girl, and the cops had no fucking response and completely ignored the whole matter, which basically goes to show how a lot of black women, especially in the inner city, especially since I've been watching this white soft belly, underbelly, something soft white, something on Instagram, on YouTube, with all these crazy kidnappings and women missing and stuff in LA. And I thought that was really nice that they had put that small 15-minute clip in to just kind of show how black women go missing and how black women are kind of disregarded and cops don't give a shit about them. But anyway, Lawrence is strolling through Instagram and he's looking at stories and he comes across Issa's Instagram and sees that Issa was out with her brother at a Mexican restaurant, and he responds to the post with laughing emojis. Soon as Lawrence sent that message, Issa was quickly replying because you could see the 3 dots. And then Maya, Case of the X came on. Dun, 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 dun. I think Issa and Lawrence gonna get back together, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Watch my other videos. Go to Libra Views. Go to my channel. Watch my other videos. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. And until next time, deuces.